What's up, guys? Here for the week 2 video. I haven't had much time to prep. I had a busy day at work, so I'm just going to kind of wing it. Last week I had some notes and things of that nature, so I'm just going to go through the matchups, give some quick recap of things, and then we'll cover the new power rankings. And as always, waivers will process tomorrow at noon for the first time this week, so make sure you get your waiver claims in and don't spend all your money. First matchup I got here is one of the closer matchups of the week, but not the closest. It's myself versus Derek. I was able to pull this win out. It was basically 80-78. It came down to Monday night, and Jameson Crowder got me just enough points to win. I also got the benefit of David Njoku getting a concussion. I don't ever root for anybody to get hurt, but I mean it does happen, and I'm glad his player got 0 points for that. So obviously there's quite a bit of injuries this week in NFL, so that probably did affect a lot of people's matchups, including ours. Looking at Derek's team, Big Ben only got him 3. I'm sure all you guys know Big Ben has, I believe, a UCL injury to his elbow. He is done for the season, going to require off-season or season-ending surgery. Mason Rudolph is going to step in and fill the quarterback role for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's from Oklahoma State. I believe he holds the Oklahoma State passing yards and touchdowns record. So he should be decent. He's from Northwestern High School here in Rock Hill. So another Rock Hill guy getting his opportunity in NFL. Not surprising. So we'll see how he does there. Todd Gurley had a decent week. Not much from Adam Thielen. Kenny Golladay with 22 points. Obviously, like I said, Njoku got 0 because he got hurt in the game. Duke Johnson had a poor outing with 3.1. Landry only 4.7. I'm not really sure what's going on with the Cleveland Browns. Obviously, they won last night, but it's against the Jets, so we'll see if they can get it put together. They had a lot of hype going into the season. Nothing going on this bench, really. He did have Mecole Hardman on the bench with 14.1. So if he would have played him at flex or over Jarvis Landry, I could have maybe seen that. Definitely could have seen him playing him at flex. But you're not going to play him over Golladay or Thielen. So that definitely would have been a benefit to him there. Looking at my squad, Carson Wentz, nice game. Sony Michel got a touchdown. DJ Moore still hasn't found the end zone because Cam Newton can't throw a touchdown pass this year. But did get double-digit points. Deshaun Jackson got hurt in the game. Got me a goose egg. Jared Cook, not really performing well this year. Obviously, it's not going to help him that Drew Brees is going to be out for probably 6 weeks. So I might have to look at other options there. I'll figure that out when that time comes. Nothing on my bench really to speak of besides DeMarcus Robinson. Put up 32 points. There really wasn't a chance I was going to play him. So, I mean, it is what it is. I'm glad I won. I maybe could have played him over Crowder, I guess, given the quarterback situation there, but didn't know, so did enough to get the victory there. Next matchup I have is probably the matchup of the week. I did pick John to pull off the upset here, and he failed to do so by 0.6 points. 0.6 would have tied him. 0.7 would have given him the win. So a great game. It did come down to last night. Because Orlando had Nick Chubb, who got him just enough. So we'll look at the matchup here. I have Deshaun Watson had 13. Kerryon Johnson had a nice game with 16. Michael Thomas, even with Drew Brees getting booted out of the game for his injury, put up 14. Chris Godwin had a nice game. 22, Mark Andrews, again, another nice game. 21. Looks like he's a good tight end option this year. I own him in another league, so I might have to start playing him a little bit more. Tyrell Williams with a nice game. 12 points out of his kicker, so good game there. Not much going on his bench to speak of. Maybe some sore spots. Bears only got him 4 points. You might expect a little bit more there. Watkins with 8. Obviously given his first week and Tyreek Hill not being there, he probably expected more, but obviously those TDs went to Hardman and Robinson for the most part. Looking here at Orlando's team, went with Josh Allen at QB, 22 points, so not a bad play. Ezekiel Elliott with 19, Aaron Jones with 23, Tyler Boyd had 17, O.J. Howard with 0. He's been a pretty big disappointment so far this year at tight end, especially considering you had to draft him probably in like the 6th round. Nice game out of Chubb with 18. Browns defense had a good game. Looking at his bench, he made the right quarterback play by not playing Kyler Murray, and nothing else really going on the bench there. Did have Rashad Penny with 13, so nice game out of him. Next matchup we got here, we have Josh versus Michael. Michael won this matchup. It was 116 to 101. Baker had 15 for Josh. Le'Veon Bell had 16. I think I seen something online where it said Le'Veon Bell is crying on the sideline, probably from fucking getting the ball every play and getting fucking abused. I mean, he looked like a redheaded stepchild out there. Like, he is really regretting his decision being on the Jets. I'm sure he's like, all this money ain't worth it. David Montgomery had 13. Odell Beckham 25. Obviously, most of us have already seen the I think it was an 87-yard touchdown he got on the slant route that he took to the house. Just, I don't know who the safety was, but extremely horrible play by that safety. D.D. Westbrook shit the bed for him, 0.8. Ted Ginn was 0. Bengals defense got him -8. I mean, your team really fucked you there. Between 3 positions, total, you got negative points. That's rough. Vance McDonald had a nice game with 19. Looking at the bench, nothing really going on the bench. Could have helped his score by playing the Eagles defense, who had 6 points, so would have increased his score by 14 points, which would have had him barely losing, but would have made things a lot more interesting. Looking over here at, or he could have played Mike Williams, who got 10 over Ted Ginn. And bam, I understand Mike Williams was dealing with the injury, but I definitely would have still played him over Ted Ginn, to be honest. Once he was cleared to play. Looking here at Michael's team, Rodgers with 14, Dalvin Cook. I think he's probably number 1 running back so far this year. If he can stay healthy, he's a beast, it seems like. 26 or 27 points there. Not much out of his receivers, a couple double-digit performances, but lower level. Kicker got him 13. I mean, not outside of Dalvin Cook, nobody else really exploded, but he just got, decent production out of pretty much everybody, or just enough. Nothing really going on the bench here. Next matchup we have Fat versus Garrett number 2. This was not close at all. Fat won this one 157 to 68. Fat's team is fucking killing it this year. I'll go ahead and let you guys know he's number 1 in the power rankings. So you guys will see that when that comes out. Looking at his team, Russell Wilson with 24. Emmanuel Sanders had 23. Kelsey had 20. Patriots defense had 35. I mean, that's crazy, but they have a lot of good matchups coming up, and that defense is a lot better than I think a lot of people expected. I knew they had a pretty good secondary, but I just didn't expect them to be shutting everybody down like that. Had Dak on the bench, who had 27, so he could have got even a few more points if he played him over Russell Wilson. Looking over here at Garrett number 2's team, Drew Brees had -0.5, mainly due to the injury. Kamara, rough game with 6.5. Derrick Henry had a nice game with 16. Alshon got hurt in the game, got him a goose egg. Mike Evans, not even double digits. I mean, he's kind of struggling this year too. Not much else going on there. Jared Goff on the bench had him 19, so could have helped his score some if he played him over Breeze. I mean, that could have really gone either way, in my opinion. And it's just unfortunate Breeze got hurt, so he'll obviously be playing Goff a lot more this year. And we'll go from there. Next up, I got my my lock of the week. It was Phillip over Garrett. Phillip won this one 116 to 109. Garrett decided to get cute and play Tom Brady over Pat Mahomes. It cost him some points there, about 7, which would have made things, let's see, it would have been 6.9. I think he still would have lost by 0.2 if he would have played Mahomes over Brady, but I understand Brady had a good matchup against the shitty Dolphins defense, but Patrick Mahomes also had a good matchup against the Raiders. You spent a 4th-round pick on Patrick Mahomes. He's the #1 quarterback in fantasy. You don't bench him. Like, I don't understand the reasoning there, but obviously cost him there. I don't, like I said, it didn't cost him the win, at least not that particular move, because I still think he would have lost by 0.2. I'm not pulling out a calculator to do that, though, just going off the top of my head. Played Matt Breida, had a nice game, 13.7. Devonta Adams had 14. Curtis Samuel had 12. Zach Ertz for 13. Nothing else really going on there. Looking at his bench, he had Deebo Samuel on the bench who had 18. So decent production there. Royce Freeman had 13. Nothing else really going on there. Obviously, his team is got some injuries going on. He decided to play Joe Mixon and Giovanni Bernard. I would have probably went with one or the other because it's probably going to be pretty difficult for both of them to produce in a game. But obviously, I know Joe Mixon was going into the game with an injury. Obviously, he went with both, and both didn't do well, so that kind of sucks. Looking over here at Phillips' team, he's got the worst quarterback in football, and Cam Newton. I'm just kidding. He's not the worst, but obviously you guys know my dislike for him. Only got him 11 points there. Obviously it came out today. He's still out of practice. They're probably going to say he's playing with a fucking injury, and that's why he sucks. I mean, same old thing every team does when their star players are playing like shit. Give them an injury so everybody, thinks that's why they suck. Saquon put up 21. Keenan Allen had 14. Cooper Kupp with 15. Calvin Ridley with 21. Texans defense got him 11. Had John Ross on the bench with 19, so could have got some more points there. Not really sure who he could have really played him over, to be honest. Maybe Josh Gordon, but I mean, it's opinion there. Last matchup we got here is Dalton versus Dakota. Dakota won this one pretty easy. It was 129-98. Looking here at Dalton's team, Matt Ryan had a decent game with 19. Eckler staying strong, got him 20. AB had his first game of the year with 14. Amari Cooper got 12. Not much else going on there. On the bench, he had DK Metcalf with 14. Terry McLaurin with 15. Tariq Cohen has just been sucking this year, mainly because the whole Bears offense has been sucking for the most part. Got him 3.5. Hopkins had a tough day with 6.5. They were just getting a lot of pressure on Watson from what I read. He obviously had a tough matchup going up against Jalen Ramsey, who is now somewhat requesting a trade from Jacksonville. So we'll see how that goes. I read the Jags are trying to get 2 first-round picks, which I think is that's too much. I mean, Jalen Ramsey is top 5 corner in the league, but I don't really think you're going to get 2 first-round picks for too many players out there. That's a lot, and also considering you're giving what you're going to have to pay this guy when you bring him in. So, looking at Dakota's team, Lamar Jackson, another big game with 31. James Conner at 12. Julio at 25. Brandon Cooks with 15. Juju with 11. Obviously, Juju's value may fluctuate quite a bit moving forward with the young quarterback and no longer having been. Peterson got him 10. Looking at his bench, he had Raheem Mostert with 23. So could have got some more points there playing him. Obviously played the right quarterback because Jameis only put up 13. Not much else going on the bench there. But all in all, a good week. So as far as the power rankings go, I will go from last to first. In last place is going to be Josh. And number 11 is going to be Garrett. Number 10 is Phillip. So Phillip's moving up from that bottom spot with that victory this week. Number 9 is Derek. So he drops the spot following his loss. And obviously not putting up very many points. Number 8 is Dakota. He got the win this week. Number 7 is myself. Even though I won and I'm 2-0, My team is putting up the second least points scored in the season, so I have had a great benefit from the teams I've played and them putting up poor performances. So even though I'm 2-0, my team is struggling. Obviously, losing Tyreek Hill has something to do with that, but some of the guys aren't necessarily performing to my liking. Team number 6 is Garrett 2. He was first last week, but his team just really shit the bed. He's 0-2. I mean, I can't really have him too high. At their team number 5 is John. Even though he lost this week, his team still put up quite a bit of points, and he really barely lost that matchup. So his team is playing pretty well, so we'll move him up. Team number 4 is Dalton, stays the same. Number 3 is Michael, who moves up with his victory. I believe he is undefeated, I think. Team number 2 is Orlando, and then like I've already mentioned, team number 1 is Fat. His team looks pretty fucking dominant. So I would hate to have to to play him coming into this week, and it looks like he's up against Michael. So team 1 and 2 in the standings up against each other this week, so that should be a good matchup. Looks like I'm up against Dalton. I'm projected to lose by a decent amount there. Orlando's projected to win by a decent amount over Josh. John and Philip supposed to be pretty close. Garrett's projected to win by quite a bit over Garrett number 2. So the battle of the Garretts. And then looks like Dakota's projected a decent amount over Derek. So see how this week goes. Get your waiver claims in. Come Thursday, I'll have the weekly predictions out and give you guys an update on my record, which I think this week I went 3-3. I think I got the lock of the week down, upset of the week loss. So it's still won't bring my overall record to 500. I'll be like one game off, but we'll see if I can improve on that. And best of luck this week, boys.